Hello students, today we are going to start with a chapter called as P block elements. In our textbook it is named as elements of group 15, 16, 17 and 18. Now P block is actually a continuation of our 11th standard chapter where we have done elements of group 13 and 14. Now first and foremost, why are they called as P block elements? Because in all these elements the last electron or the valence electron enters into p orbital of valence shell. In this we have one exception, that is helium, which is a member of p block, but in this the valence electron does not enters into p orbital because it simply has two electrons having a configuration 1s2. Now in this p block elements, the groups we have are 6 groups because p orbital can accommodate total 6 electrons. The group numbers are group 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18, from where we have done 13 and 14 already. In this part we are going to start with our group 15 elements. Now group 15 elements, group 16 elements, group 17 elements and group 18 elements. All these groups elements we have to do the various properties of them. Firstly, we have to see their electronic configuration. With respect to electronic configuration, we have to see their variations in physical properties, variation in chemical properties. Then we have to see some of the compounds preparations, some of the compounds chemical properties, some of the compounds uses and so on. Okay, so firstly we are going to start with group 15 elements. Let me first introduce you the elements present in group 15, that is nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony and bismuth. I repeat again, nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony and bismuth. In the brackets I have written their atomic number. This is the very basic requirement which we need to know for P block elements, is their respective group members with their atomic numbers. How to remember the atomic numbers? For that we have one very simple thing, that is, if we remember the number of elements in every period, 2, 8, 8, 18, 18, 32, 32. So that we have to add with our starting atomic number. Nitrogen's atomic number is 7. 7 plus 8 gives us 15. 15 plus 18 gives us 33. 33 plus 18 gives us 51. And 51 plus 32 gives us 83. Right? So that is 8, 18, 18, 32. The difference in their atomic numbers. If we remember the atomic numbers, electronic configuration is the next part we should be able to write down. As they all belong to group 15, means they have 5 valence electron. So their all general configuration will be NS2 NP3, where N is the number of shell, which I suppose you remember, for any given element the number of shell is equal to the period which it belongs. So this element starts from second period onwards. So for this your N value will be 2, for phosphorus your N value will be 3, for arsenic N value will be 4, for antimony N value will be 5 and for bismuth N value will be 6. Okay, so its general configuration will be NS2 NP3, that is 5 electrons in its valence shell. Now the general configuration we write down, that is outer electronic configuration, or also called as condensed electronic configuration. So for nitrogen with atomic number 7, its condensed electronic configuration will be helium 2s2 2p3. For phosphorus it will be neon 3s2 3p3. With arsenic it will be argon 3d10 4s2 4p3. Antimony krypton 4d10 5s2 5p3. Bismuth xenon 4f14 5d10 6s2 6p3. So you could see that as we move to the lower elements, we not only fill S and P, but we also fill D and F orbitals. Okay, when we go for 4s, after 4s we fill 3d, so that has come into account. After we fill 5s, 4d comes into account. After we fill 6s, 5d and 4f comes into account. So this is their general electronic configuration of respective elements from group 15. Once we know their electronic configuration, it is very easy to predict the trend of their properties. Okay. Now we have done this in classification of elements or periodic table. That is, the first part is atomic mass. Atomic mass, as their atomic numbers are going on increasing, means it is but obvious its atomic mass will also go on increasing. So down the group, atomic mass of group 15 goes on increasing. Second is atomic size. What is atomic size? It is the distance between the center of the nucleus and the outermost shell. Now with every element going down, the number of shells are increasing. So definitely the atomic size will also go on increasing. So in group 15, down the group, atomic size goes on increasing. However, in this we see one exception or one abnormality, that is when we move from nitrogen to arsenic, the increase is very high, as compared when we move from antimony to bismuth, the increase is existing but it is comparatively small. Many a times this can be asked as give reason. So for this small increase in the atomic size, the responsible reason would be that as we move to antimony bismuth, the electron starts filling up into d and f orbital. As they start filling up into d and f orbital, its effective nuclear charge goes on increasing. As its effective nuclear charge goes on increasing, the atomic size, that is the outermost shell, will be pulled more towards the nucleus, and thus even though the number of shells increases from antimony to bismuth, the size does not vary with a large difference. Okay, so this can be an answer for the question that why do the atomic size differ with a small change when we move from antimony to bismuth. Okay, so that would be the first thing. Atomic mass and atomic size we have talked about. After we know atomic size, the next property we have to see, that is ionization enthalpy. Now the first and foremost, what do we understand by ionization enthalpy? Ionization enthalpy is the amount of energy required to remove the most loosely bound electron from a neutral gaseous atom. I repeat again, ionization enthalpy is the amount of energy required to remove the most loosely bound electron from a neutral gaseous atom. Means, as the atomic size goes on increasing, the outer electron's attraction with the nucleus will go on decreasing, and if the attraction between the two is less, the energy required to break that will definitely be less, and thus with the increase in atomic size, ionization enthalpy down the group goes on decreasing. So down the group of 15 elements, the ionization enthalpy goes on decreasing. That is the first thing. Secondly, let us compare the first ionization enthalpy. What is meant by first ionization enthalpy? When we are removing the first electron from a neutral gaseous atom. So that time the energy required is called first ionization enthalpy. So suppose if we compare first ionization enthalpy of three groups, that is group 14, group 15 and group 16. Then what will be the order of their energy levels? So in this, down the group generally, ionization enthalpy goes on decreasing. So it is expected across the period it should go on increasing. But in comparison to that, 14, 15 and 16 group shows some exception. That is, from 14 to 15, the first ionization enthalpy increases. But when we move from 15 to 16, the same ionization enthalpy decreases. For this, what will be the reason? The reason is ionization enthalpy is first and foremost dependent upon the nature of its electronic configuration. For group 14, the electronic configuration is ns2np2. For group 15, it is ns2np3. For group 16, it is ns2np4. So, if you could see, for removing the first electron, in group 14 we have to remove it from np2. In group 15 we have to remove it from np3, and in group 16 we have to remove it from np4. Compared to the 3, np3, the energy required will be more because np3 is half filled orbital, and according to rule of stability, half filled orbital and full filled orbital are more stable. So from them to remove the energy will be more difficult, and that is a reason when we compare first ionization enthalpy of the members of group 14, 15, 16, then the order will be group 15's first ionization enthalpy will be highest, then will be group 14, and then will be group 16. The order will not be regular, but it will be irregular. The reason is the half-filled electronic configuration of elements belonging to group 15, that is ns2np3. So again this question can come in give reason. Okay. Now after dealing with ionization enthalpy, the next part we have, that is electronegativity. Now what is meant by electronegativity? Electronegativity is a tendency of an element to pull the electrons of another element towards itself during a covalent bond formation. Okay. Now in this, electronegativity can be determined with a value which is given by Pauling. We call it as Pauling scale. So according to Pauling scale, the values for the elements of group 15 are: for nitrogen it is 3, for phosphorus it is 2.1, arsenic it is 2.0, antimony it is 1.9, and bismuth it is 1.9 again. So you could see from nitrogen to arsenic, the electronegativity value goes on decreasing, whereas for antimony and bismuth it is almost the same. Again, for this the reason is the small difference in their atomic size, and that is why the electronegativity is almost of the same value. Then nitrogen among all 118 elements is the third most electronegative element. Okay, the first most we have fluorine, the second most we have oxygen, and the third most is your nitrogen atom, right? So down the group electronegativity decreases. Electronegativity is again inversely proportional to atomic size. So if atomic size is increasing, electronegativity will decrease.